And here we are then, everyone. Sorry about that short delay, but we're here with the action. Bad News Eagles meet Sangal for the first time in this head-to-head. Loser will be eliminated from Challenger League. The winner, well, they've got a match up with Movistar Riders to contend with. Sangal, it's their map pick, so they're starting on this T side. For Bad News Eagles, not too much utility, but a pair of dual Berettas.
Yeah, a bit of aggression as well. Fletcher looking for something out here. It's going to find it. Skunk takes a few bullets to the shoulder, but not going to budge. That was a bit of a standoff in the corridors as they're jiggling each other, waiting to see who's going to bite first. So far, no kills coming through. GXX falls back, as does Fletcher. As the initial contact does allow Sangal to start taking space, which they've done both in Banana and in Apartments.
Oh, that's a nice dink as well. Rigon brought down low towards Coffins, which is going to make Bad News Eagles a little bit aware of the present danger. Towards top Banana, flashbang through. Fuzi does dodge it. Another grenade, a lot of pressure now on Fuzi. Synopsy tapping away with the dual Berettas. It's more of a deterrent. It's going to flush Sangal out of Banana, force them back in towards A, and look at these rotations. They're already here.
And look at all the utility, though. They're going to go for a full execute now. Smoke goes out towards Moto, but it's not being respected. Rigon's actually is considering respecting it. Okay, the flash is going to set him up through. Fletcher is chucked in towards Little Pip. But Corey and Fuzi have both found 2 entries. 1 kill goes away the CTs, but that is it. Bomb can now make its way through and get planted. Those rotations have made their way over. Synopsy and Scenari now have to work out how they're going to put this one together. 3 Ts they have to find their way past. It's a difficult crossfire.
Scenari does try and take points. Soulfly hasn't revealed his position yet. Fuzi boosted up on the boxes, actually just completely deals with Scenari on his own. Now it's just Synopsy. 1 versus 3. Has an idea that Kyuubi's in the pit, but there's just too many players for Sangal. Just completely overwhelmed Bad News Eagles, and that's a really secure pistol on their home map.
He had a fantastic round from Fuzi as well. Triple kill in it. Those entries that got into the site were fantastic. Fletcher, he was tucked down, and his plan there is just to swing up once his teammates take contact and kind of catch them in the back, but his teammates fall immediately, and then his part of the defense is kind of a bit less potent at that stage. Bad News Eagles, though, they are going to force off that immediately, so we get to see the scout come out of GXX, even armor behind that one. Plus all of the pistols for everybody else. So plenty to work with, and well, Synopsy, he starts it off with a bang. Scrunk, head removed, taken out of the equation. Kyuubi with one immediately back in response.
Yeah, good work. The fact that there's immediate trade there as well for Sangal is very nice indeed. Fletcher feeling the pressure. Does actually spot some of these players. More information. That's going to pull a rotation. Rigon moving back over towards the arches. For Sangal, they're very diligent in their approach. They don't want to completely go headstrong into one of these angles. They're just taking their time. They're playing with all of these rotations. Such an instrumental thing to do on Inferno. As soon as I'm saying that Rigon's rotated, well, he's come right back. So it's an even split on the defense.
Well, not quite anymore, as Fletcher is going to fall. Kyuubi finds him, and well, Sangal haven't backed off yet from B. They're going to throw up all their utility. They bail out a smoke, and Scenario's going to drop one of his own back towards mid, but he is the sole defender here. He goes down. That's an open bomb site, and he's tucked his way in towards Boiler. Usually a position good for 1 or 2, and that's the first. Looking for a second, but can't quite convert it. Soulfly is there. Gets the kill. Now they can start to make their way onto the site. Smoke goes down. Bomb comes through. That one should be planted any moment now.
Yeah, no utility either for Bad News Eagles. Look at Synopsy. Just goes through the smoke again. It's a rinse and repeat of the retake attempt from the pistol. And it's the exact same results. Rigon just relegated in towards the apartments. He's got a Deagle and a Mac-10. He's just hanging around to potentially get a couple more kills. Try and make this one a little bit more costly for Sangal. But they get this one over the line. And it's been a really nice start. Consecutive rounds in a row for this T side.
Yeah, Soulfly does have to get out, and okay, they're actually going to play it super safe, so he's only going to hand over a Mac-10, and even that, well, Rigon doesn't need it. He's got one of his own, going to get away with it, and at least the Desert Eagle, he can drop the Deagle over to a teammate into the next round, because they are not going to have much of an investment. He can at least hold on to the Mac-10. Maybe they can set him up with some flashbangs, try and take some aggression potentially in towards Banana, try and catch them off guard, because this round they are not going to be able to buy into it, so it's really just going to be these bits and pieces that they're brought over. In fact, he's going to drop it both. Maybe he can get himself a pistol, so 3 of them end up with something reasonable.
Yeah, team player. Look at that. His wealth distributed across. Gives Bad News Eagles a little bit more of a leg up. Oh, into round 3, but Soulflight sweeps the legs right out from underneath GXX. Now double apartments push coming in, but look at these grenades softening up Bad News Eagles further. Sangal, they just seem to have a perfect read.
Akibi and Soulfly, the 2 players I want you to be keeping an eye on during this matchup because they are explosive on this T side. Rigon doesn't have anything to do with it. It's going to jiggle back out, takes a bit of damage for his trouble. Ruby finds one as well. Soulfly immediately deals with Rigon. He does get one cheeky little kill back. But that's going to be just about it. And Synopsy's just got a P250, no armor, and he's chilling out in a smoke, which probably won't last too long. No, there it is. Scrunk deals with him, and it's a perfect 3-0 start to Sangal.
Yeah, what's cool about this matchup and what you're going to see is both of these teams are very keen just to keep swinging and taking these fights. So you're going to have a lot of individual gun battles. Already, we've seen Bad News Eagles. It has just been with pistols, to be fair to them, but they've been very proactive. They're keen just to push smokes, swing angles. Even if they get kills, they're more than happy just to keep re-peeking, trying to create even more of an advantage. I wonder if it'll be the same with these rifles. Bad News Eagles get everything out. Bring it right into the forefront, especially over towards top, mid, and long. GXX has the AWP in play.
It's been a bait and switch setup, actually. Oh, Fletcher's actually just chilling there with utility, and Snopsy might even get a kill for free here. No! Flash comes through. Corey gets one, but there's an immediately trade back and forth, and that's the B bomb site actually completely open. You can see the rotation scrambling immediately. GXX making his way over, but Sangal are not slowing down. They know they've taken down both defenders. A missed flash. GXX doesn't even want to swing out off this smoke, so they've got an open pathway onto the site. Soulfly spamming on through to deny anyone anywhere nearby. Chills you over the top, but the bomb has been planted, and you've only just got these guns out.
Yeah, you can already see the cool-off as well. GXX falling back deep in towards CT. One Flatro does manage to get out of dodge. And with Scenario occupying towards a bomb site, it's going to have to be a save. But that's kind of a perfect example of literally the individual gunfights on show. You've got Synopsy deep swinging banana. He's going for the spam, and then he keeps on fighting. Not happy with the fact that it's unconfirmed damage. And then as soon as he falls, Rigon immediately swings car, and then he does kill Corey. It's been about a second and a half, well, less than that. Soulfly, he re-swings. It's just a complete brawl. It's an absolute cluster of kills, and it's a very exciting start to the series.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit of a taste of what we'll expect from this entire matchup, I think. And very excited to see the brawling continue. This round definitely going to be delivering. Look at all those M4A4s, Brandon. It's like the M4A1S is the fever dream that we've woken up from. We've got our full 30 bullets in the chamber, cool skins. Everyone's happy.
That's some cool A1S skins.
Absolutely. All right, GSX boosts it up, peering on in. Ooh, presents an opportunity, but it was a very minor chance, very slither angle. Not able to connect. Sangal respond by taking ground in towards apartments.
This is quick as well. Very fast change of pace coming up from Sangal, taking control towards top middle very early on. One Flatro responds with a smoking kind. Can now start to spam if he feels like it. There we go, comes on through instead, catches a grenade, and even more shrapnel. Scrunk goes through the smoke, Synopsy will trade.
I admire it, just charging on through once you found a kill. It's rare to have 2 players out towards along so early on, so I can understand the reasoning behind that. Now, what was a bit of a gap is closed up. Synopsy in charge. That kill that went the way of Sangal for Scrunk. That's, you know, using the A4 of the A1S, you can see those traces, and Butter gets punished for it. Able to locate him through the grate. Now with 30 seconds left, Looking like an apps pop on the cards, making their way through. Fiercely going to be supporting with utility flashbangs over the top. Scenario, he's about to be tested. He's looking out. He is not blinded, but he can't quite convert the kill. Corey, in fact, drops his teammate and then drops down into the pit. Only good for first. Uzi, though, is going to catch off Synopsy with an absolute blinder. That's going to allow that bomb to be planted. The rotate's coming up through mid.
There is utility behind this, though. GXX with the AWP in tow, following closely behind Regon, who was considering wrapping through long, but will hear that smoke. So instead, they're both going to come through this short angle. Fuzi, Kyubi, just waiting for an opportunity. Double nades isn't going to flush him out of the pit. He's just going to hold firm. That Molotov will. Fuzi's going to have to change direction, but not before he gets rid of GXX. Now the 1 versus 1, and Kyubi's got Regon's head.
That is sharp from Kyubi. I think both kills we saw from him were pristine, but a good attempt on the retake. I love how they use the utility, the double nade. He even goes back to pick up a third grenade to throw through. In fact, the Flames force Fuzi out into that fight, and he wins the initial kill. So the fact that he gets that kill with 16 HP, Kyubi, with aim like that, too easy for him to close it out. But a good attempt on the retake, considering what they had, what they were working with. They even had an AWP, which obviously isn't ideal on a retake, particularly on Inferno on the A-bomb site. This is going to mean Bad News Eagles still get to post around here, and this one probably unlikely. You can see it's just these upgraded pistols, it's the armor. Seen a couple of good deagle shots, but need to be pretty special ones here. Steal this one away.
These nades could do some damage towards top middle. Thrown in, but the bulk of Sangal already past it. Quick A wrap on the cards. Change of aggression and direction. Heads are presenting themselves. Bad News Eagles will fight to their deaths. How many can they take with them? That's the question. Good start. One flat throw, but quick succession of flurry as Sangal kills in the feed. Should be an easy cleanup for round number 6. Although,
shot like that, Regon almost has an opportunity, but the AK not quite able to connect, and well, Scenario doesn't budge, which is a bad omen. I suspect he's not just holding that angle. Maybe he is, but that feels very unlikely. So Sangal are going to get the 6. So I imagine we might have a little tech. Yep, he's disconnected. All right, that is unfortunate. You can sort of understand why Regon wants to go for that aggressive peak in that situation, obviously, after he's gotten those first 2 kills, picks up the AK, wants to keep fighting because he knows that his teammates has disconnected, unfortunately. But it was always going to be a long shot, but a valiant attempt from Regon and some very nice shots.
yeah, instead of one flat throw, we've got DOS flat throw. Whilst we wait for... No? Okay.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was quite... I actually laughed to
no,
myself before
that
I
is...
said that.
That's...
No, it's okay.
No, it actually
you
just
don't have to justify it. It's fine.
It took
It's
me
okay.
a second, Brandon. I'm slow. That was a good one. But yeah, unfortunately, as you can see, we've got a disconnected player. So we're going to go into a very quick tech break. When we come back, we'll be getting back into the action. Don't go anywhere.
Fortunately, not too much time away from the server. We can get straight back into the action. Sangal looking to continue their momentum with this flawless start here on Inferno. A lot of nades being dropped in early. But
Well,
Synopsy
one of them not dropped where they wanted it.
No.
All of it down, all the damage dodged though. And Bad News Eagles, actually, they really want to fight Banana. Synopsy just charging on down. Soulfly has no support. All of the smokes blocking off any of his teammates from helping out. So the opener is going to go the way of Bad News Eagles with nothing in response.
Yeah, much better reaction. Can Sangal reset? They are grouping towards the bottom of ramp. It looks like they're going to try and retake Banana. Deep Smoke now being dropped back in from Synopsy. It's going to halt the progression again, unless they want to try and fight through, which looks to be the answer. Flashbangs raining on in, and now this Crossfire needs to try and hold. Regon does take the first contact, but the immediate trades are there. Sangal, they've got the bomb site.
Synopsy did get one of those kills in the mix there, so it's still a player advantage for Bad News Eagles, but it's a very difficult situation, even with the man advantage. Skronk has managed to get himself all the way around deep and towards Ruins. He might just get a kill for free here. Trigger Discipline for a moment, but decides to commit to the kill. Flashbang through, looking for more. Snary is going to be able to dodge him, and looks for the fight. Does a fair bit of damage. Need to follow up, but doesn't quite do the damage. QB this whole time tucked in towards Quad. Nothing to flush him out either. They have a smoke. And a couple of flashbangs, but no Molotov, no HE. QB just needs to find these targets. That's that first one. Looking for GXX. Cannot quite adjust in time. But where's the kid? Has to pick that one up. And it's going to come down to the wire, but I think he's just about got it. No!
I think he does.
Well, he doesn't think he does.
Very unfortunate, because that was a successful round. Unfortunately for Bad News Eagles, there's just not enough time. It's not even like you can be motivated really too much about that one. It's like, okay, well, we killed them all, but we still lost the round. And then your reward for nearly getting there is just to be reduced to pistols again. This one is really painful and hurts a lot.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. But can't dwell on the past. Scrunk looking for something. QB is by his side. Sangal's aggression is absolutely panning out so far in this matchup. Just taking the fights, knowing that Bad News Eagles want to take the fights as well. I think that's really favoring them. Because Bad News Eagles, like in that round prior, they had a very forward setup in towards Banana. And if you go down in a setup like that, it's so easy for the response to come through and then to just take the site. And in this case, again, these aggressively posted players are going to be falling. Nice shot from GXX, another one from Snary. So they are keeping the fight going here. The rotation now coming over from Rigon. That was just a dink. It needed to be the kill, because it puts Rigon now in a 1v3.
Nothing doing either. I think you're completely correct. The fact that Bad News Eagles are trying to be incredibly proactive to the point where they're throwing their bodies on the line round after round is only favoring Sangal. In the pre-show, we discussed about how the setups for these teams is actually quite similar. The style of Counter-Strike, the brand of it, the aggression on the T side is extremely similar, and Bad News Eagles will be thinking that they know how to counter this style of play. The difference is that Sangal, they're more than happy to slow down just in moments where it gets a little bit too chaotic. More often than not, they can reset themselves out of a fight, and that is really catching Bad News Eagles off guard in these mid-rounds.
Now, if you're a Bad News Eagles fan, it's not all doom and gloom. I know it's an 8-0 scoreline, but Sangal yesterday against Heat went 13 rounds on their T side. 13 rounds, and it was still a 16-12 game. So their CT side is where the holes are. So Bad News Eagles just need to put up a reasonable defense here, and this round started well with that kill on Soulfire.
Good flashbangs thrown in by Sangal, gets GXX completely off the line, and he's been pretty nullified this entire first half. Skrunk's just walked completely by. Fuzi's found Flatcho in the meantime, and now Scenario is looking between 3 different angles, although he might deal with the bomb, but he doesn't. Corey comes to bail out his teammate, and now for Sangal, they can plant the bomb, but they need to try and survive this retake.
I mean, look at the advanced position from Skrunk. He's just got Library locked in. Snopsy, he's the one that's in charge of getting information, making his way through apartments. I mean, Rigon's gone back to the B-bomb site. He's worried about someone flanking. They're just saving. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just
there's
going to be
no
holding
money.
the exits. It's so unfortunate to be in this situation again and again and again. And that was unfortunate for Scenario. The information's there. GXX, I think, spotted Scrunk crossing at the very tail end, knows that he's in towards library. You can see as soon as that information comes through, Scenario's kind of adjusting to look out towards long, and that's at the same moment that there's the player at top mid making a bit of noise. He then spots a barrel in apartment, so he's like getting information everywhere, but none of the fights favor him, and unfortunately that kill in towards top mid was a little awkward around the smoke. Couldn't quite convert it, and that's his undoing.
It's worth praising the utility again for Sangal. The fact that they used 2 flashes for top mid, they accounted for the shallower angle and then the deep angle that York was holding towards long. GXX, he's either been flashed off an angle, smoked off, or just been flat out denied by a lot of this play from Sangal. You can see it reflects in this scoreline. Fuzi, the counterpart on the other end, who has actually, I think this might be the first round he's actually using the AWP. Very proficient on the rifle. Speaking of proficiency on the rifle, Soulfly does find Regon, but GXX, finally, he strikes back.
Yeah, I was very worried then when GXX was re-peeking in and Soulfly was holding the angle, because I was certain Soulfly was going to get the double there. Normally we'll hit those shots, but GXX a little bit quicker. And that's a confidence building kill to find as well. Peeking into top mid, knowing that they're holding you and you come out ahead. Much needed for GXX. Much needed for Bad News Eagles to even things back out. They've got a 3-man lean towards the A-bomb site. Just Synopsy over towards B. That looks like it might be the right call, although it is still early and plenty of time for Sangal to rotate. In fact, the lack of any sort of contact, it's that slowing down you mentioned, Brandon. It's already caused a rotation back towards B for GXX.
It's the lack of utility as well. That smoke that Synopsy's deployed is a little bit of a one-way. That is the last bit for Bad News Eagles. There is 1 flash remaining. And as Sangal walk back into Banana on this timing, well, that smoke's expired. It's completely redundant. It does not have a purpose anymore because it doesn't exist. And with 30 seconds left, GXX has rotated back down towards Speedway. So Sangal are quiet about the descent on the boost, which they are. Here comes the smokes, and immediately you've got the entire roster ready to fight against B.
This flash is it. That's the only piece of utility they have, and it gets them a kill. Synopsy now out in the open, trying to fight, not able to connect a second. Look for a moment like GXX had the lineup, but it does not connect. Scrunk going for the plant. Bullets firing through the smoke, but not connecting. A couple of flash throws do, but not enough to get a kill, and now a retake. Smoke goes down in towards CT, so it's the only avenue is through ruins. 2 players now coming on through. GXX holding in towards New Box. Flatro tucked in, but Fuzi is in the back lines. Planted open as well, so it's all in his hands. Fuzi tucked in towards Pit, looking for the fight, but 2 kills go the way of the CTs. Now Fuzi on the flank has to do everything. Has the bomb planted for him, and they just jump across into his crosshair. Flatro just staring out. Fuzi jiggles in, plays it to perfection. 3 kills to take him down, and 4 in the round. Gets Sangal their 10th.
What a round from Fuzi, because just as Bad News Eagles get rid of everyone on the bomb site, he's just in the back lines. And it's the second kill onto GXX. GXX is trying to strafe and just tuck in towards second oranges, but that means that the kit's dropped completely away from Juan Flatro, and there's no time at that point. He can't get the kill and defuse the bomb. Fuzi working perfectly to secure that one. And it's been a complete whitewash so far on the server. This is looking even more dominant than yesterday. And given the landscape of that game, Sangal, they're in a red-hot form.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we were talking yesterday about Sangal, before that game versus Heat, hadn't won a game in 7 weeks. It was almost 2 months since their last win. And they came through, took down Heat, and now that form, they are just looking on fire. Eagles struggling here on Inferno. We mentioned, though, that Inferno was always going to be favoring Sangal based on kind of the history of these 2 teams on this map. Bad News Eagles, definitely not a map they have anywhere near as many reps on in recent history. Mirage, that next pick, that's going to be the true test for Sangal. That's a map the Bad News Eagles definitely can show what they're made of on.
Spam doing significant damage. both ways. Double apartment setup established for this CT side. The QB's just holding in case they aggress any further. Snary tucked in and waiting. Very patient round. Coming out of Sangal. Don't want to over-aggress anywhere too far. Don't want to have a fair fight onto Bad News Eagles, because mechanically they are very gifted. Control in Banana has now been established. Just going to deploy nades to flush out players close to the issue. And with 50 seconds left, it looks like they're just going to go for it again.
Just going to go straight into it. Just 2 players here. Again, no utility. Nothing they can really do to slow this down. Sangal put a bit of pressure on, but don't immediately go for the fight. Wait and see if they can bait out something from Bad News Eagles, but there's nothing to bait out. It's just the bullets that have to connect. Now they're going to start entering through. Soulfire clearing. The flames in the top. Actually, Rigon is protected. That one smoke deployed to provide a bit of a wall. Rotation now comes through. HE over the top. Not doing too much damage, and no one is finding anybody at the moment, but it's Rigon who chimes in first with the kill. Fuzi now looking for more. Corey has actually found Synopsy, but Flatro swings out another from Corey. 2 huge kills. Still a third player to find, and look at the flank in Banana. Mary making his way up. Corey, another in the round, but are they going to be ready for this quick flank? Apparently so. QB accounting for it, but GXX also fast behind. Fires off the AWP shot, but a smoke now blooms in his face, and GXX has to run in front of it. They're standing on top of each other. GXX swings around into a horror movie as 2 stand tall and take him down.
Bad News Eagles overplay their hand again. It is so close. The B defenders do everything. They wait. They spam a little bit, but they do not overextend. You see how patient Rigon was. He got rewarded with that kill, but also he's buying time the entire time for the Banana flank to come in, but they run at the last moment as soon as the contact comes in on the B bomb site, and there is one player that spins round and accounts for it. And that is ultimately Bad News Eagles' downfall. These rounds, some of them look incredibly close, and it looks like it should always be favouring Bad News Eagles, but it's these micro decisions Sangal are making that are just allowing them to come out on top each and every opportunity.
Dominant here on Inferno, but ooh, that's a nice shot from GXX, and look at the pushed out Banana. Rigon gets the kill. Corey looking for a wild spray, and now he has the information. GXX has got himself an AK as well. This is now a bit of a weird round. Definitely an opportunity for Bad News Eagles to steal something away here. They just had those upgraded pistols, a Hero M4. Looks like they're trying to make it work. Skrunk is the low. The bomb is planted. No hit either on this retake, but maybe they don't need it with a couple of kills like that. Skrunk the only survivor, and GXX is there to trade. Bad News Eagles get their first on the board.
Boosts completely shut down Bad News Eagles last round, and this time it comes to their aid. What a boost up to get the kills for Rigon. And then GXX finishes things off with a triple. Finally, it's taken nearly the entirety of the first half, but Bad News Eagles get one on the board. The best they can hope for is 4. And honestly, that's just going to have to be crucial. They have to secure all of these rounds to give themselves a lifeline back in. Otherwise, Sangal, they're in prime position similarly as they were yesterday against Heat, just to run away with this map.
Tiniest lifeline presented. Synopsy, he's hurting after that one. Sangal wanting to fight Banana. Corey tries to smoke and extinguish, push forward. We've gotten that HE. Like it could have connected, but actually they end up being a bit shallower than first thought. Thought they were going to go through to tree, which would have been pretty deadly. But now this pack of Sangal players makes their way up Banana. 4 here. Just a lurk of QB over towards the A bomb site, and Rigon is out in the open. Soulfire gets flashed around here, and actually the counter flash playing anti-flash. They're able to swing around for the kill. Corey catches off Synopsy as he crosses over towards CT, and that's the bomb site completely theirs. GXX rotates over, and there's actually no smoke down at CT. Eventually comes through at the very last second to allow them to come over. The bomb, it gets planted. You can see 2 CTs not even budging. Nice kill with the nade. That might just be it.
Yeah, unfortunate, because that was the right idea with the flash play for Regon, but the anti-flash positioning just make sure that he doesn't even find anything off it. And now Sangal looking to make sure that Bad News Eagles don't have anything to bring forward into the next round. A little bit of a hunt coming in for Kyubi. Scenario is holding, but given the nature of the finances, because these rounds have been quite close, Sangal will probably just let them live. That's exactly what happens. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is the number at the top of the screen. Bad News Eagles 1, Sangal Esports 12.
Yeah, I was saying before, not to lose heart because Sangal got 13 T rounds yesterday against Heat, but I didn't expect them to repeat that trick here against Bad News Eagles. And they're looking set to do it. 2 more rounds left. And everything pointing to Sangal securing them. Let's see what Bad News Eagles can do. Because they need something. It's getting desperate now.
Let's change direction in towards top brackets. Boozy trying to take point. Smoke thrown in his face. Push from Saneri. Does find the opener. And this time a retreat. Nades fly through towards top B. This setup that has been in this exact position before could be tested, but this time there's a difference. Regon has a second AWP.
Third player to reinforce the B bomb side. In fact, it's that AWP. GXX making his way over. Might actually just be setting up some flashbangs, and a D got the fallen flash ready to go. There's actually no one in Banana at the moment. Regon's just going to snake his way forward, and whoa, he's going to get a kill off it. Boozy not prepared at all for the AWP to be there. He goes down, another kill given up. Bad News Eagles feeling fully in control this round. Banana is there. Synopsy walking all the way down. And look at this reposition. Sangal, they want to make their way back. Synopsy has heard everything. They come out of the underpass and he cleans up too. Corey does get the kill back. Now they can just overwhelm him. And Bad News Eagles get another round. And that one looked a lot better.
That's trademark Bad News Eagles as well. You see GXX priming the flash and Regon's like, no, I'll just try peek this. It'll be okay. He is rewarded for it. Snopsy pushes the issue. Completely locks out Sangal. And that all started with Sangal trying to be a little bit more inquisitive towards top brackets early. Fuzi was going for the peaks, but just held at bay by the smokes. And it kind of just flushed them straight into that setup. It's really nice work for the double AWPs. Can Bad News Eagles add to their slim tally? Will Sangal just be bolstering theirs?
Now Sangal know that there's this dual AWP setup. So we're just to see what they do to adjust. Last round of the half. And A looking like the hit. Smoke comes through in towards long. Even went up in towards the apartments. Moto smoke comes through now. Both these players stuck in towards apps. GXX, his legs are spotted. Soulfly is holding for it. One of those AWPs removed. He even gets legged in the process, but stays living. Rotation now comes over from Flatro. Boozy holding out towards long, but really it's on Scenari and Flatro here on the side. They can still unravel everything. Scenari where GXX just fell, and they may not be accounting for it. The hot flashes coming through for apps. Flatro deploys smoke using their Scenari. Which one? Looking for the second. It even gets him through the floor. It's a floor bang to get it. Strunk is able to take down Flatro. Scenari, he's struggling. Overwhelmed by Sangal. So that bomb can make its way through. But Synopsy and Regon are here.
Regon, he's going to deny it's not the bomb, but it is the planter. And now it's just Fuzi left, tucked into the corners, just hiding behind the flames. They're not expecting him to be there. Arriving from Graveyard as Regon swaps to the sidearm. And he does catch out Fuzi. So Bad News Eagles, despite the hefty deficit, come in to the second half with at least some momentum. 3 rounds. Will it be enough? Or will Sangal cruise to victory on their map pick? We'll find out in just a few minutes.
Well, it's difficult to describe that half as anything but dominant. Sangal putting their name in the server on Inferno. 12-3. Bad News Eagles now on the T side with a hell of a mountain to climb.
Look at this aggressive stance in Banana as well. Layered peak coming through. Fuzi at the top of brackets. Firing down some bullets. Bad News Eagles trapped to within their spawn. Apart from one Flatro, who's peeking out towards Boiler. Might hit a little bit of a timing here if he's lucky, but no, instead does peek back in towards Abs. Contact comes in at Banana instead. Bad News Eagles regain the control.
Force back. But Sangal don't adjust their setup. Fuzi's still here. He hasn't rotated over yet, and he's holding the line here. Actually doesn't spot Rigon. Skrunk does, but well, both of them fall immediately. Corey, the only one alive, and it's not for long. Rigon with another huge kill. That should be more or less it. QB and Soulfly nowhere nearby. Synopsy already in CT spawn. They're just going to want to hold onto their armor. So a perfectly executed pistol round from Bad News Eagles, and a necessary one as well if they want to at least start this mammoth comeback they have to put on.
Yeah, really well played pistol round. That was just clear and direct. They took Banana back in to either mess with the rotates or at the very least anchor in those players towards B. And then they just win all of their gunfights out towards A. No matter whether it's long, short, or on the bomb site itself, they came up with the answers with very limited resistance, only coming in at the tail end where a couple of players fall to the hunt. Bad News Eagles, they've arrived on the server. But how long can they stay on it for?
Well, they're going to have to do it against the force investment from Sangal. Deagle's out. Scout for Fuzi. A few HEs in the mix as well, so a rocket launch detected. Let's see where that one lands. Quite a lot of presence over towards mid at the moment. It's run boost being set up. Uzi, opportunity there for a moment. Rigon does avoid scope. Now, Fuzi, another chance, but does not connect. Synopsy, meanwhile, is taking full control of Banana because it is just Soulfly here. He's jiggling with the smoke.
Yeah, a couple of pieces of utility to work with. Smoke dropped in, one that was left by teammates. Bait and switch, one Flatro gets one. Got ready for Corey to outstep and decapitate. Deep nade, but good trades. However, Uzi nearly catches off guard Scenari. But the scout bullet just isn't enough to be the killing blow. And all the meanwhile, Synopsy's made good ground. And with Scenari just keeping these players at bay, it's going to be a pretty easy Bad News Eagles fit.
Yep, GXX gets the final kill, and well, the most important one there was Soulfly going down over on the B bomb site, opened it up. That was a 4-player lean towards A. Bit of a gamble from Sangal, and it does not pay off. So Bad News Eagles, they survived the test of the Force with ease, looking a lot better now on the T side. These two teams, I think their T sides are really what have given them their names as teams, really what we know them for. So no surprises really to see this start from Bad News Eagles, and this round here should be another formality. Flashbang being set up to enable this stack over towards B. And all Bad News Eagles have to do is avoid walking into it. Even if they do, the damage should be minimal.
This flashbang could be instrumental though. It's going to come in a matter of moments, and then all players of Sangal are going to swing. It's only the Mac 10 that's blind though. So the USPs, well, they do minimal damages. Just the one casualty so far, and now it's Skrunk. Flasher, the only player left. There's even a flank coming in as well. One Flatro is already in spawn. Skrunk has to just tuck in towards the sandbags. Hope and pray for a kill. And the bomb's even planted on A.
That's so funny. They know Skrunk's here though, right? Because he threw the flash. So yeah. that's hilarious. The solo planter. Flatro got him tucked on in. No chance for Skrunk. And yeah, well executed from Bad News Eagles. The stack potential was there. They were aware of it. They sent in GXX first with the Mac 10. He's the one that leads the charge. The rest is sitting back waiting for for any sort of response, waiting for the information he finds. He either finds an empty bomb site and they walk on in and plant the bomb, or he finds a stack and they trade off him immediately. And it's the latter that transpires here for Bad News Eagles. So a great start here on the T side already, a more healthy score. But now they have to go up against all of the rifles from Sangal, including the AWP from Fuzi.
Yeah, and that one's uncontested. Occupying middle, tucking in towards short as well. He has Kyubi for support if he needs it. The first contact's actually going to come in on Banana. Aggressive play for Sangal is going to be punished. Synopsy with the opener. Corey will trade at the very least. It's now re-established, but look at this change-up. Back of the reaction. Baddies Eagles are going to try and storm in towards A. Caught with nades out. Uzi finds a multi. Not quite enough for the third. And maybe that's just enough. Can Sangal try and retake this one? No. Pan Flatcher in the perfect position to shut that one down, but Fuzi makes it incredibly exciting.
What a spray down from Fletcher at the end onto both of them as well. That was very nice. But yeah, Fuzi, what a double kill. Obviously, they're not quite ready for him to be there. The AWP at such a close combat quarters after the rifler had just been under quad, but they wide swing him and he's able to adjust while the player's in midair. Great double kill. Couldn't quite get the third though. GXX handles that well by not even pre-firing, basically shooting before he even peeks into him. So there's no chance for Fuzi to win that duel out. So Bad News Eagles, they survive the test of all the rifles, and they are starting to take flight here as they make their way up this mountain. Because again, we're in the pistols.
Yeah, it should be a really good opportunity for Bad News Eagles to hit 8. Considering where they started this second half, they got to be feeling very pleased with how they've managed to bring this one back. No response from Sangal just yet. Made more difficult by the flames. Utility is going to enable a peak. His hands are busy. Soulfly will find one. Now GXX left on his own. At least Regon is here to try and trade out, but Flatro on his lurks has made noise. Has found Fuzi. There's another player on this bomb site. I'm not sure he's aware of him, but he is now. QB put on notice. And the rest of the gang are rotating forward. That's a nice shot on towards Scenari. And now he tucks in and waits for the rotates.
Oh, what a peek out from Rigon. Gets both of them as well. Empties his whole clip into it. That's a take with fury, that double. Fantastic from Rigon. Now Corey just wants to hold on to the AK. Scrunk might give it a bit of a look in. See if he can get himself an AK as well. Should be something he can recover here. Or at the very least, potentially an exit. But a nice attempt from QB. One good shot. Smoke gets dropped. Maybe you think that he can play around that and do some more damage. But the only dealer of damage here is Rigon. With some of the craziest re-entries I've ever seen. Gnarly.
He even holds the spray just in case there's a second player pushing through that smoke. Really incredible work. Strunk even falls to the bomb. One rifle to be brought forward. This is such exciting Counter-Strike to watch. Both of these teams very reluctant to save, will just keep going, pushing the issue. One AWP for Sangal. That's all they can afford. Not the double like we saw from Bad News Eagles towards the tail end of this first half. But GXX is now wielding one of his own. So I'm excited to see if we do get this AWP head-to-head.
Yeah, I thought we hyped it up, but really it's been the riflers that have been making it work here in this very chaotic Counter-Strike from both teams. Very aggressive, hard-hitting. 3-player lead, Sangal to Banana. They're going to be taking control. Scrunk goes on deep. Flatro wants to get up to his old tricks over in apartments, but Synopsy has found the first kill. Trade is there immediately. Corey has been brought low, so he has to fall all the way back. Bad News Eagles, I think they're happy with this. They've gotten Banana as well. Now if Flatro is positioning, they can start to make their way back towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, Wally's going to force Fuzi back as well. Lurk smoke from Apps. Bad News Eagles don't need to commit to this. They're just burning all of this utility. Nice nade. Now Flatro begins to crawl. He's actually just sitting in this smoke. Regon gonna try and test B. There's only one player here, Corey, who's been brought down low from earlier exchanges. Can hear all this util being primed and set. But Regon's not gonna swing the issue until that smoke is down. Pre-fires the boost, and Corey will fall.
Beautifully done. The only defender here, Soulfly makes his way over, but maybe too late now. That bomb planted for 3v3, and they'd have kit, flashes, smoke, enough to make this work. So they potentially interested in giving this one a look in. Fuzi now peering over as smoke fades. All 3 CTs here. They can block off Banana with this smoke. That's going to be thrown out now. So that nullifies one of these positions. GXX with the AWP doesn't even really want to get up that close to it. It's now a really difficult place to fight from, but he's still going to stand there and try and do it. The flashes come over. He's fully blinded, but the bomb is ticking. They're not finding a way through here. Rigon has found one, make it 2. Fuzi with double with one of his own. Scenario, though, he is there for the trade. Bad News Eagles hold on, flawless on the T side.
That's the closest it's come so far. And it's just these little weird afterplant angles each and every round being employed. Not only from Bad News Eagles, but we saw it in the first half of Sangal. Just these really tricky, elevated positions. That time it was Rigon just up high on top of coffins. That's the last thing that Sangal are expecting. As they bring that into the 1 versus 1, that timer. It's just been brought down so low each and every round. A little bit of a pause coming forward to discuss the options. AWP purchased by Corey. Is that going to be a hero AWP? It looks to be the case. Yeah, with Deagles behind it. Very selfless.
We'll see. I mean, if you look at the economy, it does support it. So, fair enough. Gives them more of a chance than otherwise. And with the loss bonus as it is, they'll still be able to get out the AWP into the next round anyway. So, I don't hate it.
No, I like it. It's just whether
opposite of
Fuzi...
hating.
Yeah, well, true. It's just whether Fuzi can find the impact on it, because he's been, very similarly to GXX, just not really that involved. And that's just because of the nature of how quick these rounds have really transpired. Very limited opportunities for the AWP to become involved. There was one moment of brilliance. And in fact, Sangal are going to hedge their bets. They're just going to leave him there. Sole AWP to deal with B. Everyone else is on A.
Ooh, and this is where Bad News Eagles are putting the pressure on early, but they jiggle straight into him. The AWP revealed. The Bad News Eagles, that might actually make them a little bit wary. GSX, though, he's not wary. He's just going to be holding on. Fuzi, you can see his silhouette on the other side. Both players holding this slither angle, but a flashbang looking like it might be primed and going straight into Fuzi's face. If he falls here, the B-bomb site is completely open. The round unravels for Sangal. Everything now onto Fuzi. He starts to come forward. GXX has been holding for it the entire time. And that is now an open bomb site. Synopsy does not slow down. Rotations can come through, but it'll be too little too late.
Oh, nice shot as well on towards Scrung. That was just a really well-played round for Bad News Eagles. Just the discipline to hold. And I feel like what happened there is with that long smoke being deployed by Flatro, that incentivized Fuzi to go for that peak because they needed a little bit of information. Because the timer was running low. And they wanted to make sure that their stack was in the right place. And now these Eagles, they can't find anything apart from that. Really good kill. Can recover an AK at the very least, but...
I'm not sure if he can.
Oh, he's already been hunted, right?
Yeah, look at the dots on the minimap. They are hounding him down. They don't want to allow Sangal to have anything in this. Sorry. That's a long-range spray, and Synopsy comes out ahead, so yeah, nothing saved over. Bad News Eagles get to double digits. This is a 12-3 half.
They're replicating Sangal's hot streak to start off T-side. I think that was 11 in a row for Sangal. It's currently 9 in a row for Bad News Eagles. As they look to keep pressing the issue. All the rifles. Once again, that sniper out for Fuzi. So it was just a limited invested round. So much HE damage being trickled in. Bad News Eagles, they're just going to go. They're just going to push the issue.
Yeah, put the pressure on A. There's only 2 defenders here at the moment. QB, he's up on high. Fuzi Now towards long with the AWP. Rotation now does come over from Corey. This boost up again for Soulfly, but I mean, last time there was a boost here, it got pre-fired immediately. In fact, Corey, okay, I think he just dropped some utility and now he's coming back to reinforce his bomb site. Bad News Eagles haven't actually taken that much ground, but they are all together as 5. Their intentions do seem clear. Sentry drop down to slow any advancement outside from long. Fuzi, that smoke not going to dissuade him. Well-timed incendiary actually in towards short as well. Keeps them at bay. Fuzi's found Synopsy lurking out towards long. Another one of these peaks going their way. Latro looking for anything. Fuzi rotates over and slots him out. Just about catches him. A good adjustment from Fuzi. Doing everything from Sangal right now. Corey tucked in. Gonna swing up now at the perfect opportunity for one of his own. Scenario now, he's falling back. Rigon coming through on the flank. Is able to get that first kill. Molotov over is going to flush out this player in towards Graveyard. And that gives Scenario the kill. They're isolating these fights, finding the way through. But Cutie is still in mini pit and he's still striking. All now onto Scenario. 1 versus 3. And they are coming from every single direction. Soulfly swings out. And finally, Sangal post around on the CT side.
What a really nice play from Sangal. They go, okay, Bad News Eagles are being incredibly aggressive. They're taking the primary zones of top mid and top banana incredibly quickly. So what we're going to do instead is just play incredibly passive in towards the bomb site. And we're talking incredibly passive. Fuzi up towards long, just on the corner, looking for opportunity. You can also then look at apartments. You've got a graveyard player and a pit player. There was just no way through. And the supporting caster utility just put Sangal over the line. That's their first round on this CT side. JXX got to be careful not to be churned up by the SMG. In fact, it's the HE that will be the killing blow for Rigon.
Yeah, utility getting kills both ways as well. Snopsy burns out Skunk and Fuzi is so low. Look at the rotations. They're falling all the way back. Surely they're not gambling. Surely not. There's nobody home.
Uh-oh.
What a call. And it's the complete wrong one. Bad News Eagles, this isn't a fake out. They are going towards B and they're as shocked as we are. Completely open sight. Theirs for the taking. A gamble stack and, well, that comes up Snake Eyes because Bad News Eagles have just gotten this for free. And do you even retake at this point? Fuzi is so low and you're so out of position.
You can't. You honestly can't. What a gamble. That's what happens on Inferno, though, sometimes. Heroic and Cadian are quite famous for it. He just makes it cool. The whole team believe in it. Same thing said here. Skunk, it just was not the right one. Bad News Eagles, that's a gift. Courtesy of Sangal. They get their first round on the board, but they're unable to make it consecutive. An immediate rebuttal from this Albanian squad.
Well, that one hurts for Sangal. But it was a difficult position to be in with Fuzi so low anyway. You can understand why they wanted to go for something a bit riskier. Fortunately, it does not pay off. But at least with 4 players surviving, they have another good chance here. They'll have everything they need. And at this stage of the game, you need that in every round. So it's good that they're able to keep all that extra money afloat at the very least. But Bad News Eagles now, they'll be feeling good after that one. Drop 1 round. They immediately stem the bleeding.
JXX going for an aggressive peek as well. Scrunk needs to be careful, jump spotting, but good grenades. Incendiaries are going to funnel Bad News Eagles back, or in Scenario's case, push him into the fight.
Scrunk also takes a hefty one. But at the end of the day, Bad News Eagles, their persistence in Banana does allow them to get control. Passive setup from Sangal once again. Soulfly up on high. Skunk playing on the site. Rotation back for Corey to A to reinforce that site, which, outside of a few exceptions, has been where Bad News Eagles put a lot of pressure on. This time around, they are going up Banana. Definitely interested in giving this a look in.
Utility sets being deployed as well. By Flatro, just to try and keep A at bay. Soulfly not considered on the boost. He does find one. And Skunk with another. This B defense needs to keep on holding, and Soulfly's gone through the smoke. Absolutely perfect. Leaves Regon alone in a 1 versus 5. Does find the first, but with 30 seconds left, and with everyone from Sangal closing in on him, this feels improbable.
Yeah, time is his enemy at the moment. Even Banana has a player in it. He has to pick up that bomb, which is out in the open. Does not have any sort of smoke, nothing through which to use to get his way out here. Just trying to find a fight, trying to find an avenue into this. But that's going to be denied. They're all sitting back. Soulfly waiting for him to walk into ruins. And he's the one that finds his downfall there. 4 in the round for Soulfly. He's been a little bit quiet this game, but he's loud in that round.
Yeah, incredible performance from him. Just plays Bad News Eagles at their own game as well. Just thrives in the chaos, runs through all of the smokes and completely blindsides them. Another round in. These ones have been a lot more scrappy. Back and forth affair in the last 3. The Sangal look to try and close out their map pick. But there's still plenty of opportunity for Bad News Eagles. Although time is running out, they've managed to achieve so much considering the landscape of the game before the half swapped over. So, you know, they have got it in the locker. Again, look at this gamble play for Sangal. They're sending everyone to A. That's 5 players completely removed from B.
Okay, Skrunk is going to make his way back. What a decision. Gamble A once to no avail. Sure, why not just give it another go? At least Skrunk does make his way back. Just about dodges that bullet through the smoke. He's got a bit of utility to work with to slow things down. Has an incendiary and a smoke, so he can keep them at bay here. Bad News Eagles are very spread out. Once again, Flatshow is out in towards the apartments, looking to get information there, but the rest of the team is going to now group up in towards Banana, and so looking like they're going to be making the right call. Scrump, the only defender here, drops that incendiary, a good HE doing a lot of damage, and Rigon's just walking on through, looking for the fight. And that fight is in the sight. Scrump tucked on in, and he is removed immediately. Rigon opens it up, a smoke can now be dropped down, and they have the site completely theirs.
It's not one of these rounds where Sangal, they're so far removed. The money's built up a little bit further, but they can't find a way in. There's only one smoke if they want to go for this retake. So they decide just to completely call it off. Bad News Eagles, they'll get another one. And it's a very similar round to just 2 rounds ago, literally. A gamble call comes in. This time Strunk is there. But that's it. Round over, round done. 1 kill is literally all it takes.
Words of Dua Lipa. Now just 2 rounds between the 2 teams. Soulfly is doing a little bit to deny damage as they go and hunt. At least Sangal do keep over 3, which is the magic number, as we all know and love. I mean, their money is looking fantastic, considering how many of these rounds they've lost in the last, like, half of the last 4 rounds. Still keeping a good bank here. Bad News Eagles really feels like they're in control here. Finding this B site open just again and again, and it's not really anything special they're doing necessarily. It's just the wrong reads from Sangal in a few of these rounds.
Yeah, they're not even putting any presence over towards A that would indicate a 4th player was even needed, right?
Yeah.
This could be a change of pace towards A, though. GXX lining up a smoke. More mollies being put down, preventative measures for Sangal, but it doesn't matter if Regon just flashes himself out of apps. Yubi will hold, try and stand tall. That spray is absolutely perfect. 3 versus 2. Man advantage for Sangal. That bomb, it has been picked up. Synopsy deals with the player in pit and even tries to fight Skrunk all the way over in towards library. Moto smoke deployed, vision obscured. Bad News Eagles with a chance to bring this to within 1.
There's kits, but it's not on either of the players. They have to collect them. In fact, every other player had a kit, so there's just plenty of bodies in which to find them. But, well, that's another body in the mix. Skrunk now 1 versus 2. Now, with his teammate going down, he is worried, repositioning in towards long, looking for this player. But GXX is long gone. Well, that clock is well ticked. So, Skrunk, no opportunity presents itself. And he's going to have to just maybe save. Spots off Synopsy on the leave, and, well, spotting him is at least going to see. Now he's going to run away, so Bad News Eagles get up to 13, and what a recovered round. That looked like it was going to fall apart from them. Rigon got that fantastic entry in towards apartments, and then he just jumps out. Hard commits off it, which I love, right? Capitalize on it. Continues to push forward. Self-flashes his way through. Lands in the pit. Looks like he's in a good position to take the fights, but then Corey gets a critical kill into him, and then QB with that huge double. Looks like they've done enough there on the defense. But then Bad News Eagles, they put the pieces together. QB goes down, and the rotations are just a little bit too delayed. And it allows Bad News Eagles to then set up in that post plant.
Yeah, and that's really good awareness from Bad News Eagles. The fact that they keep pushing the issue even when they've lost players, because they know that Sangal will be probably rotating anyway off the back of the kills coming in a matter of moments. So just by pushing the issue, it gives them that little bit of space to then form the afterplant. And what I really liked was GXX grouping with his teammate, and they pincered in from both Boiler and Short to deal with top mid. And from there, Skrunk has got no opportunity at all to even attempt the retake. You say recovered round, but what a recovered game. Sangal only have 2 rounds to show for it in the second half. It's
talk about 2 sides. Unbelievable. Fuzi does open up the account here. Nades over, and he actually manages to dodge almost all of them. So maybe Fuzi over to B is the answer. Gets that one. Going to be repositioning now. Good HE as well onto Scenario. They are all limping off the back of this. Everyone has taken some sort of utility to the face. Now smoke plumes as well. Bad News Eagles forced off the mark. All of this work. And now towards the end, could this be the breaking point and a path through for Sangal?
Yeah, this is much better from Sangal, because now they're set up in a more organized manner. Rigon, 27 kills to his name, looking for 28, but he's caught looking the wrong way. And one Flatro is thinking about even just going through after this Molotov. Plenty more where that came from. Kyubi deploys another, but it actually just gets extinguished, and Scenari pops his head. Now Corey and Skrunk just hide, just in these little corners, new angles created by the balloon. Actually set up like one Flatro, spam through Skrunk, lucky to be alive, but he still hits the mark with the MP9. Scenari needs to try and do it all with GXX, and they are isolating these kills. This fight falls long, could be everything but Fuzi through the smoke. Could try and deny this. GXX, he's going to lose his life surely, and there's no time to plant this bomb.
Yeah, Cutting to try and force it down. Actually, nice no-scope, but that's going to be it. GXX, no opportunity to get the follow-up. Kill Soulfly, tucks tail, hides into it, and gets Sangal map point. A map point they've been fighting for on this CT side. Takes them 29 rounds, or 28 rounds, just to find those last 3 CT rounds. They had 12 rounds going into this half, and they've only just managed to get to map point. So I would not count Bad News Eagles out of this yet. They even made that round look possible. That was with them all limping into that site take. They lose the initial duel out towards long. Rigon goes down, and still, it looks for a moment like they can recover it.
Rigon playing immaculately. These nades forcing Sangal back. Really well timed incendiary. Halts the progress of Bad News Eagles, who really just want to fight this. Look at Juan Flatro. As the smoke's up, he's weaving his way through. Skrunk now has to be careful. He's on a timer because he's unsure what information is out towards long.
QB under pressure as well. Flames at his feet. Rigon is holding for it, and QB just sticks in. It takes a bit too long to deploy that smoke, and now he is incredibly low. Corey flashed off now out in the open, and that's when Fatro decides to activate. Swings on through for the kill. Rigon jumping over the side boxes in the smoke. Synopsy, a huge pre-fire onto QB. Finishes him off, and Rigon looking for more. Soulfly goes down. Skrunk goes down in the site, and now Fuzi with an AWP is tucked away in CT spawn. No way he can help out. Completely removed from this round as Bad News Eagles swarm in. They absolutely pick apart Sangal like roadkill.
It does not matter how many players you've got towards this A bomb site if you're Sangal. 3, make it 4. Bad News Eagles completely strip it away. And that all comes off the back of quick A wrap smokes and then well-timed flashes. The Molotov that was initially dumped in towards Pit, I do believe, too short from pit, actually enable Bad News Eagles to get into a position where they could deploy their utility effectively to help out Juan Flatro over towards long. It's weird how the timings work out, but Bad News Eagles, they just completely overwhelm A, and they're now only 5 kills away from us seeing overtime.
Yeah, and okay, I was going to say, the buy is going to be all over the place for Sangal because the money isn't fantastic. You see, Soulfly's got an MP9, Strunk gets one as well, but Fuzi had enough to drop a second AWP, so they're putting a lot of emphasis on the sniper rifles. Corey and Fuzi are the two players that are fragging the most for this squad, so we'll see what they can do because they have everything now on their shoulders. A run boost initially. Fuzi blinded, doesn't see anything, and Rigon, he gets hungry. Red in his eyes as he charges on through, looking for anything. Maybe it does damage. They're just going to commit to it. It's a rush onto the B bomb side. It flashes over the top. Synopsy enabled for the first kill. Rigon able to get one on the Soulfly as he swings out. But Corey in the back has found 2 quick kills with the AWP. Can't get the third though. GXX is there with his, and it leaves now Kyubi in a 1v3 to keep or to take this for Sangal. Otherwise, overtime is looming. He's now making his way through CT, trying to fight through this one. Flatro, even with the nade to throw in his face, and Kruby's going to throw one of his own. Almost brings down Flatro, but now they know exactly where he is. It should only be a matter of time before he's cleaned up.
And there we have it. GXX completely smashes him out the server, and Bad News Eagles, what a recovery. We're going to overtime in just a few minutes. See you after the break.
12-3 half to kick us off, followed up by Bad News Eagles pushing us all the way to overtime. It's been a tale of T sides, and while that's where Bad News Eagles start in this first OT on Inferno, and Fuzi, well, he's looking for a fight, but he's been brought down very low, as has Scrunk, although the kill goes his way.
Yeah, very keen to fight this. In actual fact, it's been the snipers on B that have really done the damage with Sangal. Locking them in. That's what was able to actually push them to overtime in the first place. Getting them onto map point. It was Fuzi taking a lot of control towards Banana. He's been left there completely on his own. And for Bad News Eagles, they're looking like they're going to pop in towards A, which is pretty dangerous because there's a lot of players here for Sangal.
Dangerous, but they've had a lot of success just going for these fights. Kyubi, he's up on the balcony looking to take this fight. This just jumps straight past him. He gets that first kill, but he's fully blinded. Corey gets one on site though. Actually, in mini pit, and he's going to get the second as well. Jumps straight into his crosshair. GXX, the falling no-scope, but now he's in a 1v3 after finding that kill. And they know where he is. A flashbang over the top. They are low, and that nade almost nets him another. But they're not going to present him any bodies just yet. He starts to reposition, making his way forward. Scrunk close by, but Fuzi in the apartments comes on through.
That's incredibly scary. I cannot believe GXX has just got that kill falling from balcony. The nade, not quite perfect placement to get rid of Scrunk. So Sangal survive just about. Do manage to get the first round on the board here in overtime. Now they look to do it again. The AWP this time are going to reset in towards top middle. I think this is the first time we've seen the AWP in top mid in about 4 rounds for Sangal. Bad News Eagles, GXX might be holding for a sniper, but he might be presented with a rifle instead.
Oh, a couple opportunities, but they are missed. Cannot connect the shots. And a huge amount of damage done back onto Rigo, and with that utility, Sangal get away unscathed. GXX repositioning now, and there's the kill. Scrunk, head taken off. Now, Bad News Eagles, they want to just aggress off this. The utility comes through. Soulfly deploys a little bit of his own. Knows that he wants to stand and fight this. Just try and deny them with how aggressive Bad News Eagles are. Doesn't want to give them the space, but they demand to take it. Scenario, a huge kill. And Fuzi, all he can do is look on from that scope and see nothing but the sky.
On fire. They're even fighting through CT. Regon does get a little bit overzealous, but Juan Flatro just keeps on finding heads. Kyubi left alone, 1 versus 3. Limited HP, time restricted, and breath removed. Synopsy with the killing blow. Bad News Eagles. Yeah, Sangal, you can have 1 round, but Bad News Eagles, they win it right back.
Yeah, honestly, I almost feel like 1 CT round is maybe what we should be expecting as
Yes.
from both these teams. So I feel like Sangal might even be happy having gotten that one rather than losing 3. We'll see. If they can get a second CT round there, that feels like enough. So we'll see what they could do. Bad News Eagles, though, that was an explosive round. That was what we saw throughout their entire T sides. We'll see what they continue the trick. Fuzi peering on down. GXX definitely spotted that, and Scrug, he's caught, grenade in his hand, shooting out now with the AUG. In fact, jumps on over to get the kill on Synopsy. No support there from Bad News Eagles to enable a trade.
That's the key thing. And that's something we saw a lot on Bad News Eagles' CT side. It's individual fights being taken. On the T side, they've been doing such a good job, with the exception of Flatro because he's the lurk player, just moving as a pack and as a unit. Here, they're doing it again. Over towards top banana. Flashbang through. Disrespecting the util. Finding more flak with the flashes, but Soulfly is holding strong. Strunk caught with another grenade in his hand. This time, needs to be a little bit more careful. 3 versus 4 for Bad News Eagles as they just about part the bomb, but Flatro's gone through the smoke. Fuzi's holding him, trying to lock him into place. Nice tracking.
Breath for a moment, but not for long. Scenari in towards Banana, holding for this flank, a 2v3. Everything here for Sangal. They're rotating through, spotted out. GXX behind the killer, but now it's Scenari's time to activate, but he only gets the 1. Corey immediately on the response, comes through and gets Sangal 2 CT rounds. A huge number to find, considering how this game has gone so far.
Yeah, definitely. That feels like a very successful half for Sangal. Bad news, Eagles. The pressures are on them. How much of a mental toll will it be if Sangal close out this game after the recovery that Bad News Eagles made? I want to be a very bitter pill to swallow. This round's not live, by the way. We're just kind of waiting for them to get ready.
I imagine they probably feel very ready, Eric, and the blood's pumping. It's got to be, right? This has been such an explosive series, and we expected no less from these two teams. Two very fiery, aggressive teams, particularly on these T sides, and it's been a delight to watch it so far. The fact that we've gone to OT, I think, is well-deserved. Now we get into the second half of OT number one, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe. I can't believe this is the first map as well. It just feels like a film.
Feature movie.
I've been strapped in.
Why don't the Eagles simply fly the bomb to B, Brandon?
I don't want to do that. They're on CT.
Do that. Sangal's T side's a little bit slower. Not this fast-paced early contact. And Bad News Eagles actually playing quite reserved as well. Banana not being fought for really by either team at this stage. Rigon sitting here with a secondary AWP. GXX with the main one over and towards short. It's a triple setup here with the boost in Scenarii. So it's a potent hold. But the gap is apps.
Retake on Banana. Moving quite quickly as well off the back of it. Soulfly establishes the control. Nade dropped in, doesn't do any damage. It's on the wrong side of that half wall. Seen around similar for Sangal before. Take the control, and now they're going to reset. And this entire time, this stack over towards A has not moved a muscle. So this could really be effective. It all comes out whether Kyubi could do some damage here. Because they're currently not looking at balcony.
This stack being in play at this point in the game is so difficult to be ready for. It doesn't matter. Corey's ready, swings out for a huge double kill. And now GXX is under pressure. Everyone coming his way. Gets the first kill, the no-scope for the second. But 3 simply too much to ask for. Too many players swarm the site. But immediately, Snopsy and Rigon are close by, waiting for the retake. Rigon drops a smoke, dribbles on forward, looking for the fight. The flashbang, it's perfect. Boozy was revealed, but Kyubi gets that trade immediately. Snopsy now going on over the top, finds Squag, looking for the second, spots out Kyubi. He needs to find the head, but Kyubi finds it first. And Sangal get up to 18.
My goodness me. Bad News Eagles, every time you almost count them out of the round, they fight tooth and nail to bring it back in. Rigon deploying a smoke that kind of half sits in Sangal's original one to give him that little bit of leeway to go up and over the moped. How was that turned into a 1 versus 1? Considering that Sangal completely decimated that triple stack in towards short. Incredible scenes here.
Bad News Eagles have been fantastic at recovering those situations where they lose out those initial engagements and it's like a 3v5 or a 2v4 situation. GXX going for a little bit of a mosey on in towards mid, peering on through, doesn't want to overstep the mark though, just takes a peek on, sees if anyone's home. And Snopsy, he's up close next to the sandbags, has a flashbang to support him. Second AWP on Rigon, who's over... Well, he's sitting back, firing flashbangs over. Now, third player comes to reinforce B. Sangal, they haven't committed quite yet, but Soulfly is slowly making his way up in Rigon. We've seen him dry peek this before, but this time Fruzy's on the other side, and Fruzy's a little bit quicker.
Yeah, really nice find. And 50 seconds left. Sangal now look to seize control in towards top middle. Kyubi's been allowed this space in towards apartments before. He was the linchpin to that previous round. And with 35 seconds, they're going to go in. these two players on A, they need to hold strong.
XX, seen him able to do a lot close combat here. That's that first kill. The smoke giving them protection. Scenari gets one as well. The Corey, he's looking for more, gets one, but Scenari's still alive. Even swapping to the AWP, eventually run down by the Tech 9. Fuzi now going for the flank. Kyubi in towards Graveyard. A powerful position with where they're coming from. Fuzi spotted out, but Kyubi swings out for both. And off that, Sangal take Inferno.
Sangal, how do they keep doing this? That is now back-to-back days where they have an incredible T